Robert Mugabe vows to win the June 27 presidential runoff at all costs.
We are prepared to fight for our country, to go to war for it if we lose it.
He claimed the British government is funding Morgan Tsvangirai, telling Zimbabweans not to vote for the MDC, a party he calls puppets of Prime Minister Gordon Brown.
Anyone who seeks to undermine our land reform is itself the bedrock of our politics from time immemorial. Seeks our challenge and will challenge it.
His followers cheered him on. Robert Mugabe made it very, very clear to all his supporters here that there is no way he's going to let Morgan Tsvangirai's MDC party rule Zimbabwe. And the opposition is saying that ZANU-PF is using all means necessary to make sure Mugabe stays in power. Mugabe's threat of more violence against the MDC is worrying opposition supporters. They say more than 60 MDC members have been murdered in post-election violence since March 29th. ZANU-PF denies these allegations, and arrests of key party officials continue. The party's leader Morgan Tsvangirai has been arrested 5 times this week. His number 3, Tendai Biti, appeared before a High Court judge on Saturday. His lawyers want him released, arguing his arrest on charges of treason last Thursday was unlawful. With less than 2 weeks before the presidential runoff, Zimbabweans are in a state of limbo. If people take heed of Robert Mugabe's words and use violence to influence voting, there's doubt as to how free and fair this runoff is going to be. Haru Mitasa, Al Jazeera, Harare.
The MDC has urged regional observers to condemn what it's described as state-sponsored violence in Zimbabwe. But while the country's neighbors continue to call for a peaceful vote, they've yet to take action, as hopes for a free and fair election appear to be fading. Scores of opposition members have been detained by police in Zimbabwe over the past month. Opposition rallies have been banned by government authorities, and according to the MDC, at least 65 of its supporters have been killed since March. The South African President, Thabo Mbeki, has been asked to mediate between Mugabe and the opposition, but questions have been raised over his credibility. Earlier, I spoke with Vincent Magombe, the director of the research institute Africa Inform International. I asked him if Mbeki's diplomatic efforts have achieved anything.
No, it has been a total and abject failure, really. I think that it is a shame for South Africa, and a shame especially for the President of South Africa, that they have been totally unable to give an assisting hand to their neighboring country, Zimbabwe.
Why has President Mbeki been so reluctant to be firmer with President Mugabe?
Mbeki is just a typical African leader, and most of the African leaders right now support Mugabe. They have this sort of dream of glorifying a man who was a liberator, who stood with them during apartheid days, and they are not ready to see him fall down in his last days of life, literally, but also perhaps in the last few years of his presidency.